my name is Larissa. I'm creative producer for Prime World, and today I would like to share with you some main ideas we've put behind our title. So, as shown in the trailer, Prime World will feature a unique fantasy setting, which is torn apart by the conflict of these two factions we have. And it's the Dark Imperium and the Keepers of Adornia. So the Imperium is a scientific nation who are in constant search for new knowledge, and they're quite a serious bunch who put their scientific goals as a main priority for their society. And while creating them, we were mainly inspired by the classic clock-winding mechanisms and Western European Renaissance architecture. And in opposition to them, we have our keepers, who are these more passionate, freedom-loving folks, and art and creativity are the main features of their society, and nature itself is their source of inspiration. And here we were inspired by the Asian and other ethnic motifs. So as we see, these two factions deliver the opposite outlook on life itself. It's science versus art, it's rationalism versus emotion. But they do have something in common, and this is their constant need for Prime. Because in our world, Prime is the main resource that can be used in many ways for many reasons. And so the Imperium uses it as a super fuel that helps them to run their mechanisms and devices, while the Keepers use it as a source for their creative magic that they use both in everyday life and in battles. Because these two factions, of course, they do fight and do it a lot. And for that, they attract heroes. And heroes are those who can tap into Prime on a higher level and obtain supernatural abilities that help them to enrich the mechanisms of Imperium and the Adornian Keepers' magic. So as you see, while developing this setting, we tried to make it so that everyone will be able to choose his side of the conflict depending on his own way of life. And we tried to use the same approach for game mechanics in general, because what Prime World actually is, it's a hardcore strategy game that lets you to play with your friends no matter how hardcore or casual they might be. And for that, we have combined a lot of different gameplay elements together. And one of these big elements is a castle building game. So castle building, it's actually your entry point. It's where you spend the time between the battles. And what you do is you build different buildings, you collect different resources, you trade with your friends, and you prepare your heroes for the battles. This is also the part that we'll be delivering cross-platform, as we'll prepare the mobile versions both for iOS and Android-enabled tablets and phones. But we also have a lot of different gameplay elements in the PvP mode, such as gender-related bonuses that we hope will inspire couples to play together rather than, be angry at each other for the computer games time. And we have mini-game, we have different cool features actually, but here I pass the word to Divya, who will tell you more about that.
Hi everyone, I'm Divya, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about our gameplay in Prime World. So Prime World offers an exciting, innovative PvP that combines strategy and intensity. Now as the Lord in Prime World, it's basically your responsibility to conquer land, build out your empire, and have the strongest army possible, which you're going to take with 4 other players to fight for key control points on the map and ultimately to try to destroy the enemy base. Now, as Larissa mentioned, Prime World does offer gender-related interaction bonuses, and what that means is that when males and females team up on the front line, they get a little bit of extra help. So an example of that might be a healing spell that protects them both from danger when they're fighting really close together. Now, no matter what, this game gets really intense, and so if you don't forge strong connections with your teammates, if you don't communicate with your friends, it's going to be really difficult to succeed. Another layer of the PvP strategy is the talent manager. Now here you're going to be able to customize your heroes to your style of battle, and you'll do this using collectible, tradable, upgradable talents, and these talents become a lot stronger when heroes are fighting on their native terrain. So native terrain is actually a component of terraforming, which is a brand new feature that Prime World brings that has never been seen before in similar PvP sessions. So we're talking about the Imperium and the Keepers, and they're always fighting, and terraforming is actually just a beautiful visual effect that allows us to see who's winning at any time in the match. So when one team wins control of a key point on the map, this neutral territory will actually change into their native terrain, and their talents will become much stronger. So what terraforming does is it requires you to plan for your hero's talents with these native terrain power increases in mind, and it also really requires you to strategize for the opposition because they're going to have these bonuses and you won't. Now the final layer of PvP that I want to cover before we jump into the demo is combining this strategy and teamwork with our action challenge minigame. So it's inspired by classic Zuma, but Prime World's paint matching game is available during PvP session at all times. And one player from each team can enter the minigame, play to earn high scores, and be rewarded with powerful magic scrolls that can be used in battle. Now, at this point, if you're not really into the combat, hardcore combat, you can stay in the minigame, play as much as you want, earn scrolls and send them out to your friends on the field. Or you can just play a little bit, take a couple scrolls with you, and head out. Because either way, they're really strong, they're powerful, and they're worth spending the time to use them. So I hope somebody's going to use them today in the demo. In today's demo, we're going to be playing on the side of the Imperium, our scientific-loving faction. And you'll each start out with 300 milliliters of Prime, which is enough to buy one talent. So we're all going to buy that one talent right away, because they build on each other and it's difficult to fight without them. And when you go to your station and choose your hero but don't press play, because we'll do kind of a synchronized entry into the game so that way we can all play in the same session. Okay? Let's go!